Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on this Cooler Master N600 mid-tower computer case. This is the KKN2 version, which does not include the LED button at the front of the case or the fan speed controller at the rear of the case, but the KKN1 version does. This case is made of steel with some plastic, and all along the edges of the front bezel, we have some glossy finish for you. And at the front, we have lots of mesh ventilation here, so you get plenty of airflow. Over here, your 3 5¼ inch drive bays. Here's your power button, reset button. We have your headphone, microphone jacks, 2 USB 2.0 ports, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and this would be the place where they would include the LED on-off button, which is included on the KKN1 version, but this is the KKN2 version. And behind this mesh, they've included one 120mm extra flow fan here for you. You also have the option of mounting 2 120s. One other one aside from the one they've included, or one 140mm fan. On this side, we have some mounting points for 2 120mm fans, one 180mm fan, or one 200mm fan. On the rear, they've installed a 120mm extra flow fan here as well for you. And over here we have a couple grommets to thread your cables through, or your water cooling tubes, knockout for your input-output shield for your motherboard, 7 expansion slots, and they've included a vertical expansion slot here for you, where you can go ahead and install something like a USB or SATA bracket, or if you want a storm guards to protect your mouse and keyboard if you're at an event or something like that. And below that, we have a bottom power supply mount. Finally, on this side, we also have some ventilation holes here, and you can mount either one 120mm fan or a 240mm radiator. I'm going to pop off the front bezel so you can go ahead and take a look inside. Here, there are your ports, and here is the 120mm extra flow fan. Before I go and talk about the top of the case, I want to quickly mention that the KKN1 version of this case, which is not this version, you'll find the fan speed controller switch in this area right here. It's just for your information. Now at the top of the case, we have mounting points for 2 120mm fans, 2 140mm fans, or one 240mm radiator. On the bottom, have some raised feet here to help improve airflow, and a removable dust filter, which is always great to have around, easy cleaning. And beneath that, rather large honeycomb ventilation holes for where your power supply sits, as well as a mount for a 120mm fan. I've removed the thumb screws for the right side panel, so let's go ahead and take a look inside. So, the area where you might either include a radiator or your 120mm fan, they've included a dust filter here for you. Very handy. Here's the mount for the fan, and this is the 3-pin connector, as well as Molex with, I believe it's 3-pin. Give me one moment. Yes, it is. As well as your Molex and pass-through cable for the front fan. And over here on this side, we have a large cutout for your aftermarket heatsink, some rolled edges so you don't go ahead and cut yourself when you're installing your components, some room between the motherboard tray and the side panel so you can manage your cables, as well as several grommets to run your cables through, as well as holes, and a lot of tie-down points so you can organize all of those cables. And one last thing is this mount for a 2.5-inch drive behind your motherboard tray. And this case is compatible with micro ATX and ATX motherboards. Now for a look at the interior of the case. Here's another look at the rear 120 with its 3-pin connector and fan header, as well as your Molex with pass-through cables. And I'm just going to tilt this case a little bit, and the top of the case also comes with a dust filter right here. I'm going to tip it this way. So you can see that where the power supply sits, there's some raised feet, which improves airflow, as well as some rubberized pads, so it reduces vibration. All right, I'm going to set this back down. And in this area, we have a bunch of your front panel connectors. So let me go ahead and untie this. So here is, of course, the 20-pin USB 3.0 header. Oh, and I believe this one is the USB 2.0 connector. We, of course, have the audio connectors and your power, reset, and LED plugs. On this side, we have your 5 1/4-inch drive bays. It is a toolless design, simply push to lock. And below that, your 4 2.5-inch drive mounts. You'll be using these brackets for 2.5-inch as well as 3.5-inch drive mounts. Now you have 7 3.5-inch drive mounts, and down here you have 3 of them. However, where do the other 4 come from? The hard drive cage is removable. You can just take off these 4 screws here and another 2 behind here in order to remove these 2 pieces, and you'll have to remove this piece here in order to install your front fan if you wish to install an additional one. And there's also a mounting point for a 120mm fan on this side of the hard drive cage. And what you do is you just slide this one out and move it onto this mounting station here in order to install your 3.5-inch drives. Before I go over the accessories, I want to quickly mention the clearance for this case. So you get a video card clearance of 430mm or 16.9 inches, and a CPU cooler height clearance of 167mm or 6.6 inches. Now on to the accessories. So we have your user guide, always handy to have around, and in this bag, let's see what comes included. Cable ties, and there's also a motherboard speaker, and some bags of your installation screws as well as your motherboard standoffs. And one last thing, they've cable tied these here for you. These are the mounting brackets for your 3.5 as well as your 2.5-inch drives. That wraps up our overview on this Cooler Master N600 mid-tower computer case. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.